The year is 1066, perhaps the most chaotic and bloody year in English history. King Edward is dead, the throne is empty, and three powerful leaders are ready to tear the world apart to claim it. On one side, the English Earl Harald Godwinson. On the other, the Duke of Normandy, William. And from the north, the legendary warrior known as the Last Viking, King Harald Hardrada. Today's story takes place right in the middle of this power struggle, near the quiet banks of the River Derwent. This wasn't just a battle. It was the day the Viking Age came to a violent end. It was the morning of September 25th. The Viking army was relaxed. They had just defeated the northern earls and were drunk on victory. Historians tell us it was an unusually hot day. So, King Hardrada made a fatal mistake. He ordered his men to leave their heavy chainmail armor back on the ships. As they rested in the meadows, a cloud of dust rose on the horizon. They thought it was their allies. But as the shine of steel pierced the dust, they realized the horror. It wasn't allies. It was King Harald Godwinson, marching his fully equipped English army of 15,000 men at an inhuman speed. The Vikings were caught off guard, unarmored, unprepared. They needed time to form a shield wall, but there was only one way to cross the river to get to them: Stamford Bridge. This is where the history books record something almost unbelievable. As the English army rushed to cross the bridge and massacre the Vikings, a single figure stepped onto the narrow wooden planks, a nameless giant, a Viking Berserker. In his hands, he held a massive Danish axe with a handle as tall as a man. He didn't stand there to surrender. He stood there to buy time. The bridge was a perfect choke point. It was so narrow that the English numbers meant nothing. They could only attack 2 or 3 at a time. The Berserker turned the bridge into a slaughterhouse. He swung his axe like a windmill, shattering shields and crushing bones. The Anglo-Saxon chronicles themselves state that this single warrior cut down more than 40 English soldiers. Arrows were fired, spears were thrown, but he refused to fall. For hours, one man held back an entire army. The English commanders were desperate. They realized they couldn't defeat him in a fair fight. So, they resorted to a cunning but dishonorable plan. While the battle raged on the bridge, an English soldier quietly floated down the river in a half-barrel or a small boat. He drifted right under the bridge. Through the gaps in the wooden planks, he looked up and thrust a long spear upward. The unarmored giant fell, pierced from below. With his death, the dam broke. The English army flooded across the bridge. By sunset, the Viking king Hardrada was dead, and his army was destroyed. But the resistance of that one man changed the course of history. Because the English army wasted precious time and energy on that bridge, they were exhausted. 3 weeks later, when they marched south to face William the Conqueror at the Battle of Hastings, that fatigue would cost them the war. The Viking Age ended at Stamford Bridge, but the legend of the warrior who stood alone will live forever.